Hey guys, this is Matt with another battle report. It's game 2 of the local tournament that I went to on Sunday. This first picture is a picture of the spells, but before I get into that, this game is a battle line. You get extra points for killing enemy characters with shooting or magic, and killing enemy units killed or panicked from shooting or magic. That one's capped at 3 extra points, so it's not ridiculous, but I'm glad I didn't play the high elf player last game for this game because she has a lot of shooting, and I'm just going to have to use Doombolt to do a lot of the work because I don't have very much shooting. So on to my spells. Marathi this time picked 3 in dark and 1 on death, and she got, I want to say she got like Fate of Bajuna or Caress of Laneth, and I dropped it for Spirit Leech. Her spells on dark magic are Doombolt, Shroud of Despair, and she didn't get Word of Pain. I think she got Black Horror. And then, of course, the Warlocks got Soul Blight. Here is a picture of my opponent's spells. Now, this may be really familiar to those of you who watch the channel regularly, but, you know, out of 30 some odd people, we ended up getting paired together on round 2. It's Yoshi and Skaven. So this is a game I play frequently and frequently win. So hopefully, for my sake, I hope I can win. But for his sake, I know that he's trying to climb up too. So we'll see what happens. On his level 4, he's got Plague, Cloud of Corruption, Curse of the Horned Rat, and Wither. And his level 2 has Warp Lightning and Scorch. He really wanted those 2 spells with his level 2. He said that was his way of dealing with Warlocks. Scorch because it forces the panic test and it automatically hits, I think, 3 or 4 of them. And Warp Lightning because it's easy to cast. It does strength 5. You know. So anyway, that's what he's got. He's pretty happy with his spells. I think... No, he's got Cloud. I think the only thing that would have made it better for him would have been to get Plague instead of Wither, but really... Oh, he does have Plague. Never mind. He has the perfect selection of spells. This is a picture of the setup. This is what it looks like after I've Vanguarded. I have Dark Riders, Corsairs with my BSB, Blackguard, Cold One Chariot. Over on his side, he has, from right to left, he has a Rat Dart. He has Gutter Runners in the forest. I think it's 10 Gutter Runners. He has Rat Dart in front of a Warp Fire Thrower. The unit next to those is Queek and his Storm Vermin, which I kind of talked him into taking because he's really frustrated that he doesn't have a lot of high strength attacks. And I kind of talked him into Weapon Skill 5, Strength 5 Storm Vermin. So he's seeing how to work. Behind them is his bunker that has his... I think it has his Grey Seer and his level 2 and his BSB, and it's Plague Monk, so it doesn't matter if it explodes, but it is wide so that it doesn't get hit with templates. He's got a Rat Dart in front of it. He's got 50 slaves sitting right next to that. And this picture goes over the left-hand side, my left side of deployment. You can see that chariot. Then we have Heinrich the Hydra. We have Ultra PP the Charybdis. And I have some more Dark Riders. I guess I have another picture down here. You can see up there on the other side of his slaves, he has some Giant Rats. He has a Warp Lightning Cannon, which actually was fortuitously for me placed, which I don't think he thought about when he put it down. But in fairness, one doesn't usually block line of sight to a Warp Lightning Cannon. And then he has his big converted Hell Pit Abomination hanging out by that hill, just ready to come over here, and we're going to have a monster mash on the left-hand side. This is that picture I was talking about of my far left. I have the prime black guys are my Warlocks. Then I have another unit of Dark Riders. And Marathi is there because she actually cannot be seen by the cannon, as I alluded to before. The cannon just barely can't see her. It can see like the tip of her staff and the outmost right part of her wing, but that's not enough. This is just an overview of the board. Remember, this is after I Vanguarded, so my stuff has all kind of moved around to block Marathi a little bit. And I think I'm missing a picture. No, I have one here. Well, I don't have a picture, excuse me. I'm missing a picture. On the left, to the left side of that hill, is another unit of 10 Gutter Runners, which is why the Warlocks came over here and why these based white Dark Riders didn't move up. In about the middle of the left-hand side of the picture, you can see the side of the very edge of their base. That's where they're at. I'm just trying to protect Marathi from getting, shot to crap. That's why they're being blocked. That's why the warlocks are blocking her. So I don't have any pictures of movement. This picture is in Magic. I doom bolted with, I want to say it was a single unit of warlocks. I don't think I got very many power dice, and I got he stopped one, and this is the one that went through. Anyway, it killed 7 between it and the Spiteful Conjurations lore attribute. I killed 7. They passed their leadership test, which is sad because that would have been a nice A, points, but also B, I get the extra points for them panicking. This is just a picture of what that miscast did. It killed 2 warlocks. Oh no, the horror. That's not slightly overpowered at all. Here's a picture of the end of his turn, but I just wanted to show where everything moved. You can see the Hell Pit came up quite far. The cannon didn't really do anything. His chaff pushed up, and I actually thought that his stuff pushed up a little far. You can see that he did a number on my Blackguard, and the reason for that is he pushed up far enough to Dreaded 13th them. He double sixed it and just kind of ignored the miscast. It didn't really matter to him. He killed like 2 rats, and he killed, I don't know, I have a better picture of it, but he killed a crap ton of Blackguard. So that unit's useless and will now just be hiding to not give up its points. This is a better picture of how many people he killed. There's 8 left, so he killed 17, and I'm getting real tired of pulling models off to that spell. But, I mean, I can't complain because I usually come back to win anyway. But the Blackguard stoically don't give a crap. So this is my turn 2, and this is, again, remember I said I thought he pushed up too far. I charged his Rat Dart in front of his bunker, and he fled, and I was only a 9 out. And there was a little bit of confusion because when he was measuring, he actually pushed me back, and it was difficult to tell whether it was a 19 or whether it was an 18-inch charge or a 19-inch charge. No, regardless, it was whether it was a 9 or a 10-inch charge, and I just can't math right now. And I rolled like boxcars to get in, so it wouldn't have mattered, one way or the other. But I was in, and I'm in base with his BSB and his Grey Seer. The guy with the book on the right-hand side of that picture is his level 2. And his slaves can just barely see me. I actually made sure that I was right up on top of him. Remember, I talked about the overhang in the last video on the front of that chariot. I actually got pretty close on him so that, we could tell whether or not the slaves could see, and they could. The Hell Pit here got charged by Ultra PP and Heinrich. Heinrich failed, and Ultra PP got in. I know some people don't really think that that is maximizing. I really don't see how it's not maximizing. Yoshi doesn't ever have a problem with it. Most people I play don't. I know some people on the internet get mad about this. Anyway, this is what we did. We maximized this way, and Ultra PP's in there, going to get his Kraken on. So apparently I was sleeping while taking pictures, and I don't have anything good. I didn't have any combat things. I want to say I did 1 wound to the Hell Pit, and it stuck because it was stubborn, and I killed the Grey Seer outright. I charged in. I directed all of my attacks that weren't impact hits at the Grey Seer, and because of the steeds, I killed it. He did 1 wound maybe to my chariot, but that was pretty much it. And I stuck, or I won, and so they lost Frenzy, and so that's just not going to be good. Next turn, I'm going to direct all my attacks as BSB and try to kill it, and so it won't even matter. Even if the chariot dies to the slave counter charge, I will have killed 500 points of people, 600 points of people, and it doesn't even matter. This picture is on his turn. He got a pretty long charge into the Corsairs with my BSB, and he's got Queek in there, and Queek has to challenge, and he has hits on a 3, I think, and he wounds on a 2, and I don't get an armor save, and this BSB has a 1-up rerollable armor save, but I don't have a champion in the unit, so, and I'm not going to be steadfast anyway, so I'm going to need the reroll. But if I don't accept with the champion, or if I don't accept with the BSB, I won't get the reroll anyway. So either way, I'm not going to get a reroll. I'm just kind of banking on Queek not doing a crap ton of wounds to me, since he's hitting this guy on 3s, and well, I guess he's hitting the unit on 3s too. Anyway, I accept with the BSB, and because I want to try and kill Queek, because if I get lucky, I have always strike first and strength 5. I can actually, if I get super lucky, I can kill him. But if I don't, then I can at least put some wounds on him and try to get him later. Here's that counter charge I was talking about. Like I said, the Grey Seer's done. He didn't do any wounds to me, so this is just going to be ridiculous. Everybody's wounding me on 6s. Nobody's frenzied. The Chariot's going to be fine. It's just going to grind stuff out if it can make this test. And I didn't see this coming. The Hydra, or not, excuse me, on his turn 2, these Rat Darts charged in the flank just to get static res and, try to break the Ultra PP that way, because he can't stomp them, which, if I was intelligent, I think I would have directed all my attacks at the rats and tried to hit all of them, and then I could have stomped the Packmaster, but I didn't. I directed attacks forward at the Hydra, the Hell Pit Abomination. And after combat, it looks like this. The Hell Pit fed on me for the second time, and again failed to wound me. It wounds me on a 3. This is the second turn in a row it has fed and then rolled a 2 or 1. So it hasn't done anything to me. I did, I think, a wound to the Hell Pit maybe, and then I stuck Morathi. You can see her at the bottom of the picture is within range, and I only lost by like 1 for the charge, so it didn't really matter. I stuck around on a 9. This one was much dicier, and again shows just how ridiculous this Chariot is and how ridiculous Mr. Yoshi's luck is. He charged in all of those attacks. I think he got 1 wound on me total, and I didn't make an armor save. So again, I'm not making a 3-up armor save. But I have 6 attacks that are hitting on. 2 of them are hitting on 4s with the reroll. The other 4 are hitting on just straight 4s. They're all strength 4, so they're wounding on 4s. I hit and wounded the BSB 3 times. He didn't make his parry save, or he had a 6-up armor and 6-up parry or something, and he didn't make any of them, or he made 1, but I had done 3 wounds, so the BSB is now dead, and then I'm on a 6 to stay, and I roll 2 3s, so there it is. There's that bad boy sticking around, just making Yoshi's life miserable. I just want to say real quick before I get on to what's happening in this picture, Morathi is still hiding from the cannon. I saw the cannon in that last picture and forgot to mention it. In this picture, you can see what Queek did to those Corsairs. Oh wow, he just annihilated them. My BSB did like 0 wounds to Queek, maybe a wound, and the Storm Vermin, and I attacked and I did some wounds to the Storm Vermin, I want to say like 7 or 8, and the Storm Vermin just punched me in the throat until I stopped moving, and then they chased me down. I think he wanted the points. I'm not sure that was a good call. I mean, I was going to be able to rally. I think he was worried that because of the Blackguard being in a line, if he charged them on his next turn, he wouldn't kill all 8 of them, and I would flank charge him and I'd reform them wide, and then flank charge the Storm Vermin with the Corsairs, and I don't know, I guess he was worried about that, but since they can't charge when they rally, it was really going to have to be 3 turns or 2 turns before I could charge, and there's just no way that the Blackguard were going to stand up to that much punishment unless I was really, really lucky. So I think I might have turned to face the Blackguard and get more points that way. I guess his other option is he's probably just trying to get their points through magic. Well, no, I guess he can't because all his magic is dead. I guess maybe he's trying to shoot them. He's got Gutter Runners. He's got Rat Darts. I guess he thinks he can take care of them, so he's going to get the easy points for the Corsairs. Here's my 3. You can see everything charges in. I get 1 unit of Warlocks into the front of the Hell Pit Abomination. I get a unit of Dark Riders into the flank of the Hell Pit Abomination. I think at this point the Gutter Runners have been dealt with. I think I killed them actually with the Dark Riders or a turn earlier, but I just don't have a picture of it. And then I have the other unit of Doomfire Warlocks into the flank of the Rat Dart. You can see Morathi goes into the slaves, and Heinrich goes into the slaves, and the Blackguard are running away from Queek Storm Vermin. So this is just looking great. I should theoretically beat the crap out of the Hell Pit. I'm hoping it has 4 wounds left or 3 wounds left, and I'm hoping actually to do that many wounds to it before it attacks, because the Charybdis Ultra PP goes at the same time, and he really can't keep getting this lucky. And there are things that the Hell Pit can do to the Charybdis that will kill the Charybdis really quickly. And so, even if he feeds again, that would be lucky for me. But yeah, the Charybdis can't deal with this forever. And so I charge everything in and just am hoping that Always Strike First will deal with it. And Heinrich plus Morathi is just going to be bad news bears. This is just a picture of what's going on over here. You can see that my Dark Riders are running away from the Gutter Runners and my Blackguard are running away from Queek Storm Vermin. This is still my turn 3, and Morathi gets up Shroud of Despair, which I thought was excellent given what happened. And actually, I think I'm going to go back to another picture and just talk through what's going on. So this is a picture of earlier that I already showed, but in my magic phase, he dispels, I think, the Soul Blights. I'm trying to cast Soul Blight on stuff, and I get 12 dice this phase, and so I'm throwing like 4 dice at Soul Blight and 4 dice at Soul Blight, and he stops both of them with the scroll and some lucky rolling. And so Morathi throws like 4 dice or whatever, some amount of dice at Shroud of Despair, and it goes off. I don't roll doubles, which made me sad because I would have hit everything with the Spiteful Conjurations, but that's okay. So my plan was I'm going to resolve this combat on the left first. The rats, who don't benefit from Inspiring Presence or Hold Your Ground and aren't within range of either, and they're not there anyway, are leadership 5. If they fail, everybody else is leadership 1 less. So the Hell Pit will be leadership 1 less if it sticks around, which something should be alive against the Hell Pit to make it have to test. So the Hell Pit will be stubborn on an 8. The slaves then would be steadfast on a 4, but they also have to make a terror check from the Hydra, which again is on a 4, and if they fail that, then everything is an additional -1. And the same thing goes with the Plague Monks. The Plague Monks are going to be steadfast, but again, they're going to be steadfast on I think they're like a 7, but now they're on if I get them to fail a test, if I get somebody to fail a test, they're on a 6, then they're on a 5. So my goal is to do this combat on the left, make the rats fail a test, then break them or kill them, and have the Hell Pit break because it's leadership 7. That one is tricky, but that's my goal. And then the slaves will be testing on leadership 3, and then they'll fail a fear test, and then they'll be 2. And then Morathi is in base with 4 of them, and she makes them take a leadership test, and so everybody will be like leadership 2. In retrospect, I should have done the slave combat first because there are more leadership checks there. It doesn't really end up mattering, but because there are more there, I should have done that one first. The slaves are still only leadership 5 with no reroll, and they wouldn't get a reroll anyway. So they will probably all 4 fail Morathi's check, which will then push everything. Then the rat dart wouldn't be able to pass the terror check unless it rolled double 1s, and so then I could go over to this one on the left. But I do it in the reverse, and I thought that was smart, but now looking at it, I realize it was less smart than originally anticipated. And this is what happened. So I did the one on the left, and actually the rats passed their fear check, so they didn't care. I didn't start this cascading leadership bomb thing anyway, but I did all of the wounds to the Hell Pit before it had a chance to attack. So there's Ultra PP sitting on all of his wounds. Nobody died to that. Ultra PP just directed all of his attacks at the remaining rat, and then he thunder stomped the Packmaster. So everybody's dead. You can see the what happened over here. My chariot has 2 wounds left. Again, it didn't pass an armor save when asked to, but all 4 slaves in base with Morathi failed. So the slaves were steadfast on a negative number. So, and they failed their fear test, so they're steadfast on a 0, and they didn't roll snake eyes, so they failed and they exploded. The Plague Monks were steadfast on a 2 or a 3 and failed and were run down. And this is just ridiculous. To make matters worse, the Hell Pit doesn't get back up. It brings up a single swarm or something. So the game was lost earlier, I think, for Yoshi, but this really just seals the deal, and it made me really like Morathi plus Shroud of Despair, but this was kind of an outlier situation, I think. So this is his turn. You can see that he's moved up. He shot his cannon. He tried to double shoot through the Hydra and the chariot. And I want to mention that this is the 3rd shot of the game that either it has rolled a 2 for the strength or it has fizzled. So it has done nothing this game. And then on my turn 4, I'm just going to charge it with Morathi and kill it. You can see he's turned Queek and stuff around. They swift reformed. He shot down one guy. I was making armor saves over there on the right-hand side. And, nothing really is going to happen. I'm just going to run away from Queek for the rest of the game. Here's just a better picture of that. I guess towards the end of the game I started taking more pictures. I don't know. That's just showing the cannon fired through those two, and I think it fizzled. It would have hit both of them. It was just frustrating for him. I want to say, I asked him why he didn't shoot at Marathi. He said there was more points there. I actually think that's wrong. He would have had more tournament points that way because he would have killed 2 with shooting, but there's more actual points in Marathi. She's 375 and she's my general, so that's 475. Those 2 units together are less than 400, so I might have tried that, but at this point he was just trying to get points anywhere he could, and that was a choice he made. This picture shows what my turn 4 movement looked like. Everything kind of turned around to face Queek, and I shot some stuff off with Doombolt. My Blackguard ran around, and this is his units running. The Gutter Runners, I think, are trying to get to my Chariot, which is fair. My Marathi has already killed his cannon, and everything's kind of turning around. The Charybdis, I guess, is beating up his swarm, or is standing there from beating up his swarm. I don't know. It's just Operation Mop-Up. Here's a picture of movement on my turn 5. You can see everybody moves up. The Warlocks have swung around outside of the charge arc. Marathi's within 18 inches. I'm just going to triple Doombolt. I'm going to Soul or Spirit Leech or whatever. I'm just going to try and kill everything I can with those Storm Vermin. And maybe Ultra PP and Heinrich will go in to finish them off. Maybe not. The Chariot charged at the Gutter Runners and didn't make it, but I don't think they did any wounds to him. And my Blackguard, who have been shot by the Gutter Runners, and they're now down to 5 people, are still running. They're just gonna try and get away. This is what it looks like after my magic phase. I get Spirit Leech off first, and he can't dispel it, and I roll a 5 and he rolls a 4 or something, so it's like 4 wounds to Queek. Queek dies. I get some dice back, then I Doombolt, and I get triples on the first Doombolt. So I kill a bunch of Storm Vermin, and I get doubles from another Doombolt, and so there's 6 Storm Vermin left. So pretty much got all the points in the world. This is Yoshi 5. He's just moving forward, trying to catch some points somewhere. I think he actually may have charged the Chariot. I don't know. He's kind of gasping for straws. He can't get away. I have him encircled. The only thing he has left is Gutter Runners. They've killed some fast cav, or are trying to kill a Chariot still. I'm not sure. They're just shooting, and it's not enough. This is what my turn 6 looks like. I have killed them. I want to say I actually charged them, but I may have just magicked them all the way to death. That sounds like something more than I would have. I did. In fact, I remember I magicked them all to death because I didn't want to risk them getting away, and I had Heinrich in position to throw a breath weapon that would touch every member of the unit if I got bad magic, if my magic didn't really do anything. So that seemed more likely to work for me, plus I was getting extra tournament points that way. And this is just his last turn. He moves around, he tries to shoot that Dark Rider, and he actually fails to kill that last Dark Rider. So this picture also shows the only thing he has on the board. He has some giant rats, and he has a severely depleted unit of Gutter Runners. So it's really obviously a massive, massive victory to the Dark Elves. So some things I learned about, I guess, my list and about playing games here. Well, I guess I should say I got all 30 tournament points. I got 3 out of 5 bonus points, so I'm like 33 out of 35. So that puts me up at, I want to say, like 57 out of, no, not 57 out of 70. So I'm feeling pretty good about it. A lot of the other people that got 30s last time got matched up against each other. So it's really me versus some top tier people next time. So hey, maybe I'll do really well. But stuff I learned was, I learned my list works really well against toughness 3 infantry, especially if it is moderately strengthed. I learned that Queek is ridiculous in a challenge, and that you should never ever challenge him. That is just ridiculous, and I don't want to do it again. We played a Triumph and Treachery game where I killed him with an ASF Master on a Pegasus that had the Cloak of Twilight. It doesn't work without that. You have to kill him before he strikes, otherwise it's not going to work. The thing I learned really from watching Yoshi play was that don't give up charges, not even long ones. I mean, even if that charge was a 10, I made it, and it was worth making, because if I made it in, I was just going to stall that combat forever. I was just going to get in, I'm going to block him up, and then I'm going to, have flanks into his slaves. They won't be able to reform quick enough. I have good chance to kill characters. I mean, it was just bad. I learned that one from Tom Richards, who used to play a lot, and it's one of those things that I keep trying to remember to tell myself, don't give them long charges if you can't deal with it. And that was just, I mean, I rolled exceptionally well in that combat. All game, really, except for armor saves, I rolled exceptionally well. And that was just one that he should have stayed a little bit further back, and he didn't. And then armor saves, I'm actually still having some problems with those. The Dark Riders did okay, but the Chariot actually still failed quite a few armor saves, and I don't know, it may have ended up dead in the last turn, but I think I have a picture of it not being dead. But it didn't make very many armor saves either. It made, I want to say, one or two wounds got through, and it only made like 3 or 4 armor saves. That's pretty bad for a 3-up. But again, I'm just used to it rolling exceptionally well. So, in my mind, my rolling is still not very great for it, but that is what it is. I can't complain at all. It was a great showing by the Dark Elves. And the last thing that I learned is never ever joke about how you're going to get paired with your teammate in a tournament, because Yoshi was so frustrated at me that I joked about it. On the way there, we're driving, la 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 la, and I'm like, oh, there's only 36 people. We'll probably get put together. And I was thinking first round, but nope. After the first round, I was like, oh, we're several battle points different. There's surely somebody in between us. No, there wasn't. So we got paired up, and I think he was more frustrated about that than about the loss, although the loss was very frustrating as well, just because after about turn 2 there was nothing really that he could do to stop it. So that's the report, guys. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll get back with you with game 3 here in a little bit, probably tomorrow. I don't know, I'm gonna say tomorrow.